What's good, locos? This is Angel from the Monsters in the Morning on Real Radio 104.1, and you're listening to the voice of UCF, Marc Daniels, and the Beat of Sports on FM 96.9 The Game. You want real sports talk? You got it right here.
Happy month of May. Probably one of the greatest months of the year.
I believe it's your birth month, if I'm not mistaken.
Just saying. Welcome to the Friday edition of Beat of Sports. I'm Marc Daniels. Chris Vasquez is over there. How you doing?
I'm good, Mark. Oh, well.
Who thinks I don't like kids? Love kids.
Just
ask my nieces and nephew who's the coolest uncle. You got to admit, I'm a cool uncle. If I'm your uncle, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Uncle Mark. Oh, man. You ask my nieces and nephew. Uncle Mark rocks. What now?
Just the whole Starbucks CEO, Shiloh.
It's the experience.
What experience?
You walk in and the experience begins.
Oh.
I had a date night last time with a wife.
Hey, where'd we go?
We went to one of our great partners. We're at Fiddler's.
Nice.
The Irish pub. My wife had a craving for fish and chips. Donald wasn't there last night, but we went out, had a great meal, just relaxed, casual, and so forth. Food was good. And they, Friday and Saturdays, they do live entertainment out there. But Thursdays, it's open mic night, not for comics. Hey, three guys walking the bar, but for music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chris, the classic case of,
oh boy,
no, you're looking, going, I don't know about this, man, right? A couple guys get up on stage, and we were in the room. If you enter Fiddler's and go to the right, it's not a private area, but it's like a separate dining area.
Mm-hmm.
And then the middle part is where, if the band play, two dudes get up there and like tuning. I'm like, oh, this ought to be interesting. They were incredible.
That's
just
awesome.
Great, right? And then behind us in the room that we were eating, another guy's kind of tuning up his guitar, and I'm like, oh boy, Grandpa's probably going to sing some like folk songs. And dude gets up there, he's playing like Dave Matthews by himself, and I'm like, they're great.
Nice.
They were really good. So you never know, man. You just never know. We had a great time. It was fun.
Never judge a book by its cover.
No. They're really good, and then we left. But yeah, we had a nice time. Got out.
Did you enjoy a nice cocktail?
I did. I had an Irish coffee.
Okay.
So yeah. That was it. I didn't booze it up and struggle to walk out the door or anything like that. But yeah, that was it. No, so we had a good time. It was nice.
Nice.
Good. And to dive into the busy weekend ahead, Magic and Pistons play tonight, Game 6. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Richard Hale will join us later. One of the topics for Richard today, and we actually taped Richard yesterday because he's got court today, was the famous pictures of Rossini and Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
Were they legally taken? And you're like, what do you mean? In Arizona, you can't take pictures of somebody and have them published or used without their permission. So what happens? Well, the damage is done, obviously, but were the pictures legal? Plus, he's got thoughts on the Brendan Sorsby story. And what legal issues are there as well. So we'll get to that. Michael Donald will talk hoops, get his thoughts, Magic, Pistons, and other NBA news and stuff with Mike. We get a weekend review and all that fun stuff coming up on the program. I do want to do a little bit of the Magic. I'm going to play a clip from South Florida's AD. He's right. But what he's trying to get to isn't happening anytime soon. I'll explain that and more, but first, everybody's favorite segment.
It's almost like an unwritten rule that when you become a father, you become king of the bad dad jokes.
What is Forrest Gump's password? One Forrest one.
Are you ready to laugh? We know at least one person is. Here's CB's dad joke of the day.
By the way, we'll do
great.
give some Derby and Kentucky Oaks picks later in the program.
Way to tease it.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
All
End of
right.
the week. Let's go.
Strong.
Yep.
Oh man, I have a lot of jokes here. All right, this one made me laugh the most. What's the
Why are you like rubbing your hands together? Like you feel like this is really good. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What is the most reliable part of your body?
Well, What is the most reliable part of your body, Chris?
That would be your fingers, Mark. Why?
Why, Chris?
You can always count on them.
Wasn't ready for part 2. Didn't know I had a second act to the joke
You
today.
can always count on your fingers.
I got it. I got it.
He's the voice you trust for the teams you love. You're listening to Marc Daniels and the Beat of Sports.
You can join this show on FM 96.9, AM 740, the live video stream, which I forgot the prop I was going to bring in today.
And you yelled at me for the Big League Chew last week.
Yeah, fair. So a segment, we're going to do a show within the show, and I botched that. But you can watch the video stream, go to YouTube, 96 The Game. Orlando, click on the logo on the live button. You can watch the stream of the show, and you can also get there via Twitter, 96.9 Game On, and the podcast, where you can listen whenever you want, which is back up.
Yes.
Yeah.
The audio version of the podcast is now up.
So I want to play something quickly. Then I want to do a couple things to Magic, and then Bobby from Bowegans is here. And I'll say this. This guy's doing exactly what he should do. Rob Higgins is the AD at South Florida, whatever the title is, but he's AD at South Florida, right? Mm-hmm. And they're opening up a new stadium, and they have taken on incredible debt by building a stadium. Because the timing of when they chose to build a stadium and the era of paying players and it doesn't work. Like Florida State asked them, it doesn't work. So at a state hearing, he brought this up, which is basically saying, hey, if the state wants to get involved to make certain games happen, they should. And here's his reasoning, okay?
Is there any chance we could codify prominent state rivalries for increased revenue to our schools? Our college conferences right now on the football side of things have increased the number of games which can put those rivalries in jeopardy. Those rivalries are huge for not only our university, but for the potential revenue. So I know we're all in making sure that we save as much money as we possibly can, be the ultimate stewards of our university's resources, but we need to continue to keep our eye on revenue generation and protecting those rivalries and or reinstating them, and maybe creating a promotable series that a major global brand would be interested in helping sponsor to help generate revenue could be a potential thought.
What he's saying is, if you guys stay want to help UCF and USF get back together and play, and then we can get a big corporate sponsor, make a lot of money. And again, he's doing nothing wrong. He's doing what he should do as the AD. I am not speaking for Terry Mahajer. And while I do not deny for 1 second there's fan interest in having that game start up again, there's also no reason for UCF. And you say, well, that's arrogant. And are you afraid to play South Florida? Listen, I think Brian Hartline was a great hire by them. Probably he's going to win. But the business of college athletics right now is just the way that it is. And I can give you the reasons why UCF needs 7 home games, and when they play 5 on the road and have 4 at home because of the odd number again and all that stuff. And here's the other thing. The current structure is there's greater risk when you play someone that is below you in the structure. You can argue, hey, the program's where they are the last couple of years. There's no benefit to it. There's no benefit to it. There's a fan interest because of the proximity of the two schools, and once was a rival. And if in the same conference, no kidding, or the same level. And I'm sorry, the reality is they're in a G6 league, UCF's not. And there's no benefit. You try to schedule non-conference games that you can win. Oh, you're afraid of South Florida? No. They play 9 conference games. This is just a fact. It takes South Florida to play 10 Power 4 schools. It takes them anywhere between 5 to 8 years. They sometimes get 2 in a schedule. Sometimes it takes them 5 to 8 years to play 10 Power 4 games. UCF plays 10 Power 4 games every year right now. 10. And when you go, well, the structure is such that when the Big 12 expands, if I'm South Florida, I am looking for any opportunity to get to the Power 4. I'm just telling you, the Big 12, if they look to expand, they're not going to the G6. Otherwise, they would have taken the $250 million that Memphis is willing to give them today, yesterday, a month ago, 3 years ago, and they would cut the check tomorrow to get in. They said no. If the Big 12 expands again, they'll take teams to the ACC. That's where their expansion is going to come from. But I get it. They're opening a stadium. It is difficult to get P4 schools to go play there. So therefore, it's going to be tough to pay for everything you got to pay for. So he's doing the right thing. And you can say whatever you want about it's wrong for UCF. Listen, I know everything that took place when they were in the Big East and trying to block UCF from getting into the conference. But The business model, there's no reason to. There's not. When you play down in the structure and lose, there's no benefit to you. Yeah, but you pack the place. The goal for UCF is to be good, so you pack the place regardless of who plays. That's it. Yeah, but don't you want games that fans want? Yeah. If I take and isolate that one point, if I take into account the business of college football, no. So I understand his point, but
The business of college football is just playing inferior teams, it seems like.
the structure, no.
Mm-hmm.
No. They play 9 conference games in the Big 12.
Okay, so your out-of-conference schedule is going to be inferior teams.
Fans like wins. Well, hang on. The league requires you to play 1 Power 4 opponent for non-conference. That's 10. Nobody stops you from scheduling 2 other Power 4 schools, but the reality is,
Inferior teams.
home games. Home games, which means you can't necessarily get someone to go, how about 3 for none at my place in the Power 4? No, it doesn't work that way. And if they want to create a master schedule maker that says, in your 12 games, you've got to play 3 Power 4 schools non-conference, that's fine. I'm okay with that. The problem is we don't have a system that rewards that in college football, because 11-1 is better than 10-2. And until someone penalizes a Power 4 school by having a softer non-conference schedule, there's no proof that it hurts anybody.
Is strength of victory a metric at all?
There's nothing that's proven the committee weighs that consistently. Nothing right now. It doesn't. We've seen it the last couple of years. 10 o'clock hour, WY, Jim Orlando, WJR, HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando sports leader. Quick couple thoughts on the Magic tonight. I do think without Franz Wagner, it is a big loss for the Magic. I do believe the team coming home tonight, the crowd will be there. The crowd will be ready. The whole thing about being physical to start, listen, so will Detroit. Basic things. Don't miss as many free throws. Don't give up as many offensive rebounds and second chance points. You need Paddle to play, not for 45, but another big game. Desmond Bane, to me, remains a very important part, if not the most important player, to consistently hit outside shots, because there's nobody else that I have confidence that can do that. Jalen Suggs needs to be an incredible on-ball defender tonight and help when he can. And Wendell Carter Jr., maybe the second most important person. And I say that because I think Paddle's going to have a great game, but Bane and Wendell Carter Jr., you need the guy that played like that in games 3 and 4 tonight. If that happens, the Magic win. They'll win the series. And you say, we don't want to go back to Detroit for game 7. That's okay. They won there, but you'd like to close it out tonight. Let's talk to Bobby from Mowegans, who's here. We'll do more basketball. Mike O'Donnell coming up in a little bit. How you doing?
Good to be back.
Yeah? Good. You got a lot going on.
Staying busy, as always.
You got, Chris told me what you brought in today. What'd you bring in today?
So we brought this is one that we do every now and then, every year, every other year or so, but it's a real fan favorite. But it's one called Heffen Awesome. It is a peanut butter Hefeweizen.
Peanut butter.
Yeah. Yeah, and in a non-traditional style. It's a classic. A Hefeweizen's like a German style. It's usually
It was a left guard for the Niners.
Yeah. It's traditionally like has banana clove, like these light characteristics and those flavorful like phenolics on there. So messing with anything German kind of really irritates them sometimes, but so we take this style of beer and throw peanut butter in it, but it works. The whole beginning and origin of this beer is probably about 15, 16 years ago. I was having a peanut butter sandwich. I had a banana, and my mind was, full beer mode. I was making stuff and trying to come up with recipes. And I'm just like, all right, this is a classic combination. This works. Like, of course, like now I need to make this into a beer. And we took, instead of just going like a stout, like a peanut butter stout or something that people normally do, I went with the Hefeweizen style because it has that banana base already just from the yeast. So we took that and we kind of accentuate those banana characteristics, and we add peanut butter to it, and it was an instant hit.
I'm guessing this is not open a jar of Jif, and just mix it in. So take me through that process.
Not fully. Yeah, we use a couple different methods here. We use like a powdered peanut butter. It's gonna be denatured and de-oiled, which if we put just straight, Jif in there, the oil content would just completely destroy the beer. Right. So we use that. It's like a natural peanut butter powder. Then we also take peanuts and we roast those, and then we let that age on there. So we get different levels. You get the full peanut butter flavor and those top notes from the fresh peanuts on there too, and just make sure that it hits and it's ready to go.
So when you started, tell me all the experimentation part of it was like, whoa, too strong, not enough, and this that. How long before you got the balance?
I mean, after the first, that real quick. After the first one, I mean, it was fairly close. It changes just year to year every time we brew it. Just with whatever, maybe the peanut butter is stronger or you know, or less prevalent and stuff. So we kind of tweak that, and as we go, we can just add more and more and more. So I mean, we do tweak it year to year. We do have the base recipe, but we're just wait till it's exactly what we're looking for, and now it's out and it's been wildly popular.
Awesome.
I did not put it in cans this year. We have it draft only. We do have it in these large growlers, which have been flying off the shelves. We keep running out of them, so tells me I need to probably can it next year. But
With this beer being made with peanut butter, how does that affect the head on the beer? Is it going to be a little bit more thicker, more creamy?
Yeah. So usually, if we're using something that has a lot higher oil content, it would usually like deteriorate the head on the beer. If you're watching the live stream here, I'm holding that up. You can see this one has a nice frothy white head.
Beautiful.
To it. So again, we use the powdered form of that, so we're not adding those oils back in. And when we use the roasted peanuts, roasting that will actually bring the oils up to the surface level, and we don't have to worry about reintroducing that back into the beer so much.
The name, Heffin' Awesome.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it sounds like it's effing awesome. So it's
Nice.
kind of a play on words there.
Is that kind of like I know you had another beer, Heff It All, same deal?
Yeah, this one was the first one, and we just kind of ran with that whole iteration.
Nice. So with Hefeweizens, you get banana, you get the spicy clove. How do you kind of balance that when you're brewing?
So for me, I'm big on getting the banana character of the Hefeweizen. One of my favorite Hefeweizens of all time is Eyinger. That's like kind of like a banana bomb. So there's different stuff you can do throughout fermentation. We really stress the yeast. We ferment at certain temperatures to really bring that out. I put certain sugars in there to help pop that out and really tone down the clove aspect. So there's a lot of different stuff we can do throughout that first initial day and beyond throughout fermentation that really kind of dial down the clove and bump up the peanut butter. Or I'm sorry, the banana.
With this beer, is it going to be a little bit more on the cloudy side, or is it going to be more clear?
Yeah, so it's a natural German, it's a wheat beer. So it's going to have a little bit of cloudiness to it. Again, holding it up to the camera there if you guys are watching. So yeah, it'll have a little natural haze to it. It's still soft. It has some delicate flavors to it, but everything just kind of melds together, I think, in a perfect balance.
Nice. All right, so I want to get to something real quick that's off of this beer, but your first beer that you ever sold at Bowigan's.
Yep.
Can you say what it was and how you came up with that name? I know the story, but I think it's a great story. It's worth telling.
Yeah. So this was it's a now retired beer. It was called Bo 9. It was a citrus pale ale made with orange zest. We would end up sitting for at first it was maybe 30 minutes, and as the batches increased, it became like maybe 4 hours a day that people eventually would sit there and be hand zesting oranges and stuff like that. It was a great beer. Never saying it's not coming back, but that was what it was. Now, we were talking in the hallway a little bit before too, and you were asking me like the name and how that came about, Bo 9. And I've heard all kinds of different things, and people are like, "Oh yeah, was it like the 9th version of that beer that you made, and you finally got the recipe right?" I'm like, no, I had so many of them. I was trying to type the name in and write Bowigan's, and I missed the I and just hit 9. And we just looked at it and looked at each other like, there it is, named itself. Next.
I love that story. It's a fantastic story.
That's awesome. We've talked about the construction and it's winding down. What can you tell us how things look?
Yeah. So I wish I had a full date to tell you, but it's coming very, very soon. I will tell you it's going to open. We're going to open in May. Yeah, construction's just about finished. Got a couple more things to finish putting together for the final pieces, get the kitchen fired up, and we're about ready to go. So it's very close. If you guys have been in there, I know that tons of people have been coming in the tap room. They're kind of peeking their head through the curtains and checking everything out. You guys can see the progress. Very, very close now. So hopefully by next week, I'll be able to come in here. We'll announce the date and let you guys know when we're open and rolling.
You got a busy rolled out schedule. We're headed towards summer here. You got your summer beers lined up and everything?
Yeah, I mean, we're cranking beers out left and right. The guys are making tons of new ones right now. Just came out with another. Speaking of the Hefeweizens, because since it's kind of springtime, we have some more that coming out. We did one we've never done before, which is a Hopfeweizen. Which, if you're a fan of Boegans or follow us, you're not shocked that we took another style and hopped it like an IPA. But it is a very cool thing. Emerald hops, Mandarina Bavaria. We just tapped that one, and it's a classic Hefeweizen. But instead of the peanut butter, now we have extra hops. We put some American hops on there too. Has some really great flavors. And we're rolling out stuff. I could probably go ahead and announce it. I haven't told anyone else, any of the staff. Just the guys in the back of house know, but we'll see how much of the staff is actually listening here. We have one of our favorite ones, Tropical Fusion, coming back.
Yes.
Chris has been one of the main ones begging for it for a while as well. It's
my
a
second favorite beer.
double IPA, just a big bold American IPA. Another crowd favorite. So we haven't brewed it in a couple years, so we decided it's time to bring that one back.
Awesome. Tell folks how to find you and everything going on.
Yeah, so we have 2 locations in Central Florida, one in Castleberry on the corner of 436 and Redbug. We are currently going through that expansion. We're putting in a brand new kitchen and doubling the tap space. A lot more events there, so come check us out. Another one in Avalon Park at the Marketplace at Avalon. Check us out online at bowiegans.com, BOWIGENS.com, and at Bowiegans Beer Company, all the social medias.
Are you flinging this weekend? Are you out there? Are you doing anything?
No, not this weekend, unfortunately. But I will be actually.
So the happy staff's working this weekend, not the angry cowboy guys out of Bowiegans.
I will be working the Avalon Run Club on Monday.
All right.
Well, there you go. Close enough.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bobby.
I appreciate it, guys.
Richard Hill's next. Sports law expert Hale and Jacobson is the firm. Online at hhjlegal.com. Let's dive into it. Good morning, Richard. How are you?
I'm doing well, Mark. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. The Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel story, I'm not quite sure is over. I don't know where it's going next, but I am kind of curious because I saw a few people make note about this. Just because you see somebody and you think they may be famous doesn't mean that you have a right to snap pictures or videos of somebody. And I guess in Arizona, that is the law. So I am kind of curious. Are there legal issues here for those, whoever it may be? And TMZ says it wasn't them. They may have bought the video and pictures from somebody, but this appears to be individuals that say, I think that's Mike Vrabel. I don't know who that is with him. But if the pictures are taken illegally, is there any legal fallout here?
Well, the legal fallout would be yes. I mean, that individual could get sued if they, somehow invaded their privacy. But I think the damage at this point is done. I don't know quite what your damages are. Obviously, if the fallout here is that, you were guilty of infidelity and then your marriage is over, can we put a price tag on what that looks like for Vrabel or Rossini? I mean, we can try. I think the more interesting avenue here in terms of talking about a lawsuit might be against the establishment itself. So you've got this resort in Arizona that touts itself as being ultra private and, protecting the identity of their patrons. And now you have video being released from that very establishment. So, what safeguards are in place to protect people's privacy in those, in that environment, and what promises were made by the hotel to the patrons in an effort to protect their privacy, and have they breached their duty? Might be, in my mind, the better route to go here. Number one, it's you would think that an establishment like this would have insurance, so you've got a deep pocket there that you could go after, as opposed to maybe filing suit against somebody that snapped a picture while on vacation and then sold it to TMZ. I'm not sure that there's a deep pocket there. And TMZ is not on the hook for putting it in the stream of commerce at that point. So there's not an avenue there. So I think, number one, we have to look at the damages themselves and what can be proven, and then look at who's liable here. And in my mind, the most liable could be the resort itself. And that might be the avenue that I would go.
The other story to pivot in football, got a lot of headlines. Brendan Sorsby is the quarterback that played at Indiana, was at Cincinnati, and then became one of the top targets in the portal, signs a big deal with Texas Tech. They're projected to have a really good season, favorites in the Big 12. And then a couple days ago, he announces he's going to enter a facility to deal with the gambling addiction. You kind of knew that meant some more stories were coming out. They did come out. But what are the legal issues, if there are some here? Texas Tech clearly had a deal with him. Could they get out? Was he obligated to let them know about something? You got Cincinnati trying to get $1 million buyout of the deal that they had with him. He gambled at Indiana, opened an account where you got to be 18, and you got to be 21. He wasn't 18. So what's the legal fallout of this story?
Yeah, I'd say the most pressing issue here is who knew what and when did they know it? And in terms of the big money deals here between obviously the quarterback in Cincinnati and the quarterback in Texas Tech, and the timing of all of this, when these issues became known, are going to be really relevant to whether or not there's a breach of contract that happened here. I'm not privy to the terms of the contract between Sorsby and Texas Tech. I'm imagining it does have some type of moral clause in it that would require him to keep his nose clean. And, certainly this would, be a black eye to the institution itself and to his career. So, we'd have to look carefully at the contract to see if he's guilty of breaching that. In terms of his deal with Cincinnati, what did they know and when did they know it? They filed a lawsuit against him because they feel jaded by him leaving and going to Texas Tech. Well, was there some type of moral turpitude clause in his contract there? And what did that say? And can Cincinnati rightfully go after this money if they knew that he was guilty of these things and likely wasn't going to play this season anyway because of whatever punishment's going to come down from the NCAA. I think it's pretty clear that the NCAA is not going to let him play football this year, at least in my mind, based on the rulings that they have set forth. So, where does that leave Texas Tech at this point? Can they try to recoup some of their investment? I think it's too late, based on the way that I read the NCAA regulations, for Texas Tech to go now, get another quarterback through the portal or some other way without penalty. To me, that penalty is significant enough, at least from a monetary standpoint, that I don't see them going and grabbing another guy. So are they now left with, I believe the guy was a backup last year, had some injuries, and, maybe he's going to be a suitable candidate this year, but, certainly they went out and spent a lot of money on Sorsby. So I'm not sure that that's even an option for them at this point. Now, your last question about, is this criminally punishable? Potentially. I don't know that I see the state of Indiana making a huge deal about the fact that, some guy said he was 21 when he was really 18 to open a gambling account. I don't know how you put the toothpaste back in the tube if that's the route you want to go to start arresting, that probably a number of people out there that have done that. I don't know how you police that particular issue. Certainly the cost there would be of some concern. So, does it get that far? I don't know. But my primary concern in looking at all this, or where can the money be recouped for all of this NIL dollars that have been put out? Is it by the universities themselves? We'll wait and see what lawsuits develop.
Before we pivot, one of the things I just had a smirk is the people on social media that do the long, whether it's a podcast that, going to jump on Brandon Sorsby as they're sponsored by DraftKings or FanDuel. Just something.
But,
the irony of that is funny.
The irony is funny. I've talked about this, and it's relevant for this reason. That there are college kids out there that are betting, and a lot of the marketing dollars that are being spent by DraftKings, by FanDuel, are targeting, this younger generation. Why? Because they're extremely tech savvy, probably more tech savvy than you and I and guys in our age group. And so there is a direct marketing campaign appealing to these kids. We've seen lawsuits about it already. And so they know these kids are gambling already. We're kidding ourselves if we didn't think that these partnerships were going to result not only in college kids gambling, but in college athletes gambling. Was it just a matter of time before a story like this broke? Certainly. I think moving forward, these schools, when they enter into these contracts on these NIL deals, are going to have to do, some real due diligence in crafting contract language that protects themselves should they find themselves in this exact situation.
Somewhat in the same category, Damon Jones is the first to plead guilty in the case involving a number of NBA connections here. At least from what I read, it sounds like others ought to be concerned about what Damon Jones has spoke about. Perhaps it doesn't help them, but he clearly cut a deal here and did plead guilty.
Yeah, as a reminder, Damon Jones was one of 30 individuals that was indicted, a few months back now. The story was that he would recruit players to big-time poker games that he were being held at houses in the Hamptons, and the games were rigged. So he would bring in the big money players, and then the hands were already fixed. So a lot of people lost a lot of money during those poker games. The other thing he was doing is, while he was an assistant coach, was feeding information to sports gamblers about people that were potentially on the injured list or people that weren't going to play and or have their minutes limited so that they could cash in on player props. So, a couple of things going on there. He is the first one that we know of that has turned state's evidence. And what that means simply is that Damon Jones is now going to cooperate with the government by providing testimony against other people, potentially other people that were indicted. And, then you have questions, if that ends up in trial, you have questions of credibility, right? If he's the witness, and the reason that he's a witness is because he's cut a deal with the government to provide testimony against others, how reliable is that testimony? The jury will have to weigh, how reliable is Damon Jones if we know that he was involved in this as well, Is he telling stories just to save his own butt and he cut a deal with the government, or is he telling the truth? And at the end of the day, that's what the jury will be charged with, is to test his credibility and find out if his testimony is reliable.
We'll leave it there. Thank you, Richard. Have a great weekend. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care, Mark.
Richard Hill, sports law expert, Hill and Jacobson, the firm. Hoops with Mike O'Donnell next.
This is Step Back 3 with MOD. Straightaway 3, it's it. Let's talk college hoops. Let's talk hoops with college basketball analyst Mike O'Donnell.
We talk basketball, a lot of it with Mike O'Donnell these Fridays, and a lot to get to. Good morning, MOD. How are you?
Oh, Mr. Daniels, I'm really good, but I am physically wrecked, man. I mean, absolutely wrecked.
What's the problem?
I played pickup last night for the first time in about a year at 9:00 at night.
Yeah.
And went hard for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I woke up this morning and I don't feel too bad. I didn't feel too bad initially, but I started walking and I looked down. I don't remember spraining my ankles, but both of my ankles are swollen beyond belief. I'm like, what is happening right now? It was wild.
How many guys? 5-on-5? Were there like rotating teams? How many total players?
So it was interesting. I got invited to play in this game. There's a couple former D2 guys, one former D1 guy, a washed-up guy like myself, and two. So we played this guy's house. He built a full court.
CV, little private basketball games, huh?
Excuse us.
Awesome.
Excuse us.
It was. I know, right? I know. It was awesome. But he built a court. It's about 80 to 85% the size of a full court. So we played 4-on-4, and it was a little bit like indoor soccer. Ball hits the wall, you just go.
Yeah.
You just grab it and go.
Shirts and skins.
Man, we played. I was ready for that. Some guys weren't. You know what I mean? But I was ready. You know what I mean? I was.
Was
ready.
there the big guy that sweats a lot with a knee brace?
Yeah.
There was a
I
knee
picked
brace
him
guy?
on my team. Oh, yeah, there's a knee brace guy.
There's
a knee brace guy?
Yeah.
Knee brace guy was great. Didn't make any mistakes. Didn't try to do
He's
too
solid,
much.
right? He knows the
Play
fundamentals.
within himself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Play within himself. I did have to ice the kid, though.
What?
It took 3 bad shots in a row.
Mm.
We were closing in on game point. Didn't run back on defense. Had to ice him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. There were no guys, wearing AirPods. Nobody walked in with a hat because, like, my general rule of thumb is if I'm playing pickup, if you got AirPods in and I'm lined up against you, it's now my job to make you either quit basketball or never come back to that spot to play pickup again. Like you might as well just go play pickleball with the old ladies. Like you've got no shot of enjoying yourself.
Unless it's Kevin
playing with AirPods.
Unless it's Kevin Smith.
I'll never mess with Kevin Smith. That's my guy, though. I love Kevin Smith. When you walk in with a snake around your neck,
right?
That guy's on my team. Yeah.
By the way, Chris Vasquez is offended right now.
What are you taking shots at pickleball for?
Yeah, no, man. I can't get behind it. Yeah, I can't do it.
Unnecessary.
My wife plays, and she loves my wife plays at least 3 days a week, and she plays in tournaments. She's made the podium the last 3 tournaments.
Whoa!
Annie is a very, very good pickleball player. I refuse to play pickleball. I refuse.
Why?
I'm not going to do it. Can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not going to play as something that. It's just really shuffling, and there's a place that's called the kitchen, and it's called a dink. Like I'm not down with any of that. You can't.
There's a
hit the ball
kitchen.
Too hard.
Yeah.
What's the kitchen?
It's
Mark, like right in front of the net.
It's just ridiculous. They call it the kitchen. Like it's just
right
ridiculous.
in front of the net.
Yep. Can't get in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Unless the ball bounces.
Yeah. You can't.
Well, why don't you just say you can't get in front of the net? Why don't you say it's a kitchen?
Exactly.
That's the name of the area.
Kitchen. Yeah, can't go in the kitchen. Yeah, I can't go in the kitchen.
Hey.
But like, it's just I play the Kings game, and I'm a ping ponger.
Hey,
that's a real game.
Hey, MOD. If you and I get out there for doubles, I'm telling him not only in the kitchen, this guy's cooking. Okay, so just be prepared. Yeah, and I'm cooking a 5-course meal. I'm going to be here all day. All right. Slice it and dice it, whatever you want.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
When I went to go watch Annie play, I took the kids to watch Annie play at a recent pickleball tournament, and there were 2 high school guys that shirts off, sunglasses on, playing what appeared to be two elderly women, and they were talking trash. They were like jump high fiving. They were, it just completely destroying these two elderly people. And I'm like, what is happening right now, man? What is this? This is ridiculous.
Different type of community, man. Different type of community.
You don't jump high five.
Man.
You don't jump high five.
They did. I thought, and at first I thought they were doing it as a joke, and then it was kind of one of those train wrecks where you can't not watch. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even see what Amy did for about 15 minutes in the tournament. I'm like, this is wild.
Hey,
this is nuts.
Hey, Vasquez. When MOD and I show up, I say not only am I in the kitchen, I introduce Mike as my sous chef, and I say,
"Oh, hello."
Yeah.
Wow.
Did someone order the dink souffle?
Oh, wow.
Man.
Let's try to move this towards basketball if we can.
Yeah. Sorry about that. That's my fault.
All right. We talked last week about the 7-game series and why it's so different. Well, here come the Magic and Pistons down to game 6. We talk about adjustments that each team makes. Comes off an incredible game 5 by Caden Powell. I mean, just awesome to watch both of these guys. And now the Magic come back home. No Franz Wagner. You make some tweaks and things like that. So give me your thoughts on a game 6 tonight after 5 games in the sample size of the Magic and Pistons.
Yeah, I think the general sense for the Magic is I still prefer when they play the game from like an old school perspective. And what I mean by that is where, look, threes are a luxury. It's icing on the cake. And if the Magic are making threes, right, what does that do? And we've talked about that a lot, how it helps Franz and Paulo so much from a spacing standpoint. But I think making the game slow and gritty and physical and almost like an old school style of where the game is like in the mid to late 80s benefits the Magic. I think it benefits their makeup. I think it benefits so many of the role players in terms of not just matching physicality, but exceeding physicality of the guys that they're lined up against. So I think, it's one of those things where the more low scoring, and I don't want to say ugly game, but you know what I say, the more kind of gritty physical game it is for the Magic, it benefits them. It does. I think it bothers Cade Cunningham. I think it bothers the rest of the Pistons, who really kind of prefer to play in a little bit more of flow and tempo. And I'm not here to say that that's guaranteed that if the Magic win and they put up 120 points, great, fantastic. I just think they're at their best when the game is physical and there's gritty and it's more of a defensive battle. And so if the Magic are to get this, I mean, physicality is the key. I think, Cunningham's going to get his 23, 24, 25, and that's fine. I think if you make the game slow and you make it methodical and it's played in the half court, that drastically improves the Magic's chances of moving on in the series.
Chris was angry because he believes if you're a professional basketball player, you should be able to make free throws. And we had
70%. 70%.
But Mike,
I actually kind of agree with
Mike.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, Mike, you played in this game a long time. You called so many games. It becomes more challenging when you watch a teammate miss a couple of free throws, and all of a sudden you're at the line. So explain how 16 for 30 can happen for professional players.
Oh man, that's such a fun and it's such a fun question for me to answer, and probably a very boring thing to listen to. From a sports talk radio standpoint. Here's what I'll say. Free throw, NBA players should be shooting 70% at the free throw line. I will simultaneously also push back on the argument that free throws are easy. They are not. It is the first time in basketball in which you're asked to be a non-athlete. You're not allowed to jump. You have to manufacture your own rhythm. It looks, feels completely different than the entire rest of the game, right? Everybody's standing. Half the time it's quiet. Half the time it's loud. And it's a very weird feeling to know that you have 10 seconds to literally create any type of rhythm that you actually want, but you can't jump, even though 99.9% of the time you have to jump in basketball to take a shot, to take a layup, to take a jumper, to shoot a floater, to shoot a three, take a half-court shot, but you can't jump here. And so what that does when you can't jump is that for most players that are average shooters, they don't know how to properly engage what's called an energy transfer from their feet up into their hands and find rhythm at the apex, at the very top. And it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Having said that, as Jerry Seinfeld loves to say, now I can say anything I want. Chris is right. If you're an NBA player and you're shooting 70 and you're not shooting 70%, what that tells me is that you don't care about it enough. It doesn't matter enough to you, because the amount of time that you have to work on your free throws is there's so much time. There's so much time to work on your free throws. Nobody's asking you to break free throw records. But if you're shooting 7%, what that does to you, to your individual game, is that, let's say if you're a guy who gets to the line, if you take an average of 8 free throws a game, and throughout the course of the season, you're making 4 to 5 of those free throws. You're shooting 50% from the free throw line. When you're shooting 8 for 10 from the free throw line, when you're shooting 7 for 10 from the free throw line, it does 2 things. Number one, it makes you more confident and allows your mental capacity to have a more rhythmic output, while simultaneously completely changes the complexion of the game. How teams run offense, a lot of times analytically, going down into the weeds, can essentially say, he's going to miss these 2 free throws. We're up 4. We're going to run this play. He makes these 2 free throws. We have to run this play instead. And so it absolutely changes the flow of the game when you make your free throws. It's a very obvious thing to say. I get it. But analytically, it does have a major effect on what teams run, number one, especially late in the game, and number two, the emotional psyche of your team and how you operate.
More fun to watch.
I feel like you can make that. I feel like that was a halfway decent answer to talk about free throws on Sports Talk Radio.
I thought it was pretty good. It belongs to the Sloan Analytics Conference, is what it does. It was a deep dive.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What's more fun to watch? Victor Wembanyama do freakish things on the basketball court, or the Oklahoma City Thunder play? Because I say that with the utmost confidence to the champions, they're boring because they're so good at what they do. Doesn't guarantee a championship. They got 15 guys that all play defense at a high level. They've got SGA that doesn't miss shots in the fourth quarter or overtime. But they're boring. And I say that again as a compliment, or Wembanyama, where I don't know what he's doing because it's so different. I've never seen anything like it.
I'll answer this from, if I'm a general sports fan, it's more exciting to see what Victor Wembanyama is going to do. I mean, that I think is the real and best answer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're a basketball geek purist, you're in awe of Oklahoma City. But Victor Wembanyama is one of those guys that we haven't had for a while, to where you kind of if you turn on the TV, you're like, man, what is he going to do? When you go and watch the Oklahoma City Thunder and you see the dominance and the consistency and the defense and the offense, and yes, they certainly get to the free throw line a lot, which is not exciting. The casual fan can fall out of love due to the boring brilliance and skill of Oklahoma City, versus the average fan is looking at watching TV and they're like, how is this guy doing it? And when you watch him play, you don't know what he's going to do, which is so exciting. And that's really, really, really good for the NBA. You have no idea what's going to happen when he plays, and what type of highlight's going to be created. Mark, I still have a really hard time when I watch the Spurs play of actually grasping how tall Wembanyama is. Because you forget, if you've never been to an NBA game and you go sit courtside, or you get so close to the court and you're like, oh man, the point guard is 6'5", 6'4", this guy's huge. This is wild. It looks totally different on TV. And then you have Victor Wembanyama stand next to a center, and you're like, this makes the 6'11" guy look 6'5", but he's going behind the back at half court, inside out crossover spin move. How is this even possible? So I'm going to lean towards Wembanyama on that. It's great. He's great for the NBA. When you turn on the TV and you're like, you don't know what is he going to do next. Boy, does the NBA really need that. It really does, because it's such a copycat league right now.
Chris, can I follow it up with the following too?
Go for it.
So when Mike and I are cooking in the kitchen,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
and it's point game. Do you call point game?
No, you don't. You don't say that.
What do you call it?
Yeah. What do you say, Chris? What do you say?
You just call it game point.
Like, what would be the score before Mike and I are about to close it out?
I don't remember. I think you played 21, I believe.
Okay, so we're sitting on 20.
15,
Okay,
13.
and we've been living in the kitchen. Are you gonna have a problem when I say who wants dessert? Huh?
Chris, that's pretty good, man. Come on, Chris.
I think we need to end
How
this
much do
segment.
you hate Mike and I right now?
I think we need to end this segment.
No,
I think we need.
No, it's not that bad. It's pretty good.
I thought that was pretty good. I'm going to be honest. I thought that was pretty good.
I think we need to end this segment.
I thought that was pretty good. Mike, see you in the kitchen. Have a good weekend.
Take it easy, Gordon Ramsay.
That was really good.
Dude.
Also. Oh, wow.
Why are we hating on pickleball?
Who's hating on pickleball?
MOD was hating on pickleball.
I don't think it was hating on pickleball.
He said he wouldn't play it.
You've got to admit, there's a little bit of a click that you guys, you're
I'm a slammer when I play.
What's that?
When you like spike it down,
Uh-huh.
slam it.
Right.
Because Mike was talking about like little dinks. I hate dinking. I don't like dinks.
Okay.
I don't dink it. I slam it.
Oh, but that's okay. I can't cook in the kitchen. Huh?
Have you played pickleball?
Huh? Guess what's coming? Well done. Okay. Yeah. Who wants dessert? The 11 o'clock hour kicks off with the news next.
Let's really do the news.
Yes.
Now it is time to do the news.
But now it's time for the news.
11 o'clock hour, WYGM Orlando, WJR, HD2 Cocoa Beach, available on a stream at 96 in the Game Orlando on the YouTube channel. Be sure to check us out. Magic tonight try to close out the Detroit Pistons, Game 6 of the NBA's first-round series. Tip time 7 minutes after 7 o'clock. Coverage right here begins at 6:30. No Franz Wagner for the Magic tonight. Magic have won the 2 games at home. The Pistons extended the series with a Game 5 win. Don't anticipate the Magic missing 14 free throws. I would think that they won't give up as many offensive rebounds and second-chance points. I still think that Paolo needs to have a great game. Doesn't have to score 45, but you need a better effort than you had in Game 5 out of Wendell Carter Jr. I think Desmond Bane remains a very critical player for the Magic, the only consistent outside shooter for them. We'll see if Jamal Cain starts again tonight or maybe Tristan Da Silva gets in the starting lineup, and I expect a lot of minutes for Anthony Black in the basketball game for the Magic tonight. Last night, the NBA, at one point, the Knicks led the Hawks by 61. By 61 points. You're laughing, Chris Vasquez. Why are you laughing?
Well, it's just you don't really hear that number all that much.
No, you don't. The Knicks ended up winning the series after being down 2-1. Blew out the Atlanta Hawks last night to the point that it was a bit comical. 140-89. Knicks led 83-36 at the break. Yeah.
I got nothing for it.
There is nothing for
it. We could go the hitting a big 3 to cut the lead from 51 to 48.
3 fingers up for the 3. Yeah, you can't be a player on a team down 51, knock down a corner 3, and put your 3 fingers up. You just can't do that. By the way, your good friend Stephen A. Smith, who after the Knicks lost Game 3, did the whole act of, I'm done with them, and Mikal Bridges, and today has the Knicks going to the finals.
Idiot.
Finger, wind, which direction? Oh, that one.
But the guy holding up the 3 fingers, he's going for the teammate award next year.
You think so? Yeah. Sixers beat the Celtics 106-93. Jason Tatum left leg injury in the third quarter. No update yet. They play Game 7 in Boston, and suddenly this has gotten interesting. Tyrese Maxey went for 30 last night. Minnesota ended Denver's run 110-98. The Timberwolves without 2 starters, Anthony Edwards among them, and they beat the Joker, who went for 28, 9, and 10. But Minnesota advances 110-98 with the victory. Magic tonight again against the Pistons. Cavaliers and Raptors play in Toronto. Toronto needs to win to force a Game 7. And the Rockets will try to force a Game 7 with a victory tonight in that series. Tonight in the NHL, the Canadiens and Lightning play Game 6 of their series. All 5 games have been 1-goal games in that series. The last 4 games, it's been 3-2. The score. It's been a phenomenal.
So that's what you call exciting.
Oh, my God. This series has been absolutely awesome. It's been just great. Diamondbacks infielder, but Amaro Vargas has hit in all 23 games this season, second longest streak to open a season dating back to 1940. He's 34 years old, journeyman, man, bouncing around.
Good for him.
Yeah. Let's see what else we've got for you. They run the Kentucky Oaks today. That's the 3-year-old race for the best fillies, the girls. The Kentucky Derby, the 152nd running, is set for tomorrow. A couple Derby picks your way in a little bit. The pomp and circumstance that comes with everything. Tonight, the Kentucky Oaks goes at 8 o'clock, which I get it. It's about TV. It's about money and all that stuff. I just, sell out for what do you got to do. And then the Derby goes at 6:57 tomorrow. Probably be like 7:06 because it never goes off on time. Mike Rapoli, who owns the UFL and lives in Orlando, has 2 horses that can win both today and tomorrow. And he has been a key figure in horse racing. He's trying to win a Kentucky Derby, and every year puts his heart and soul into it. Renegade is his horse in the Kentucky Derby tomorrow. He's a really good horse. He starts on the rail, and in a 20-horse field, it is like I-4 traffic on a Friday trying to get from here to Disney in 10 seconds. It is almost impossible, but that is his horse. He's also got a good horse in the Oaks today. F1 is back after a month off when they canceled 2 races in the Middle East because the ongoing situation in Iran. The Grand Prix in Miami will have the flag drop at 4 o'clock on Sunday. That's what I got for you in the world of sports. By the way, somebody that I respect really well that knows the golf game and the media golf game regarding Live said that some of the people were just shocked by the Saudi decision to pull the money. Because they said, well, a couple of weeks ago, the Saudis said, hey, forget the rumors. We're committed for 26 and we'll reevaluate things. So not only have they pulled their money for funding after 26, but apparently some of the things they committed to for this year, like, they fly their players on, like, the best jets, everything. Staff now scrambling to pay for their own travel. The hotel rooms that have been booked at 5-star resorts for their events no longer booked and now scrambling to find hotels and things like that. So some say that they wonder if they will finish the season this year, even though they said they were financially committed to do so. Ouch.
Oh,
Ouch.
dishing a lot of money.
Bryson DeChambeau, I saw in an interview, gave a really interesting answer to the question about what the apparent situation at Live, what you may do. And he's qualified for basically every major. And he did say he wasn't in such a hurry if he had to get back to the PGA Tour. The dude's YouTube channel's become a monster hit. And he kind of made it out like, yeah, I'll figure out what I want to do. I got a lot of stuff going on with my YouTube channel and some other things, and I still get to play in the biggest events. And I still think he on the PGA Tour is a rock star. But that was interesting, the answer that he gave, that he's maybe not in such a hurry to get back, when many believe that a lot of players on Live trying to get back to the PGA Tour will not have an easy path to get back. All right, we'll come back, and the weekend review is next.
Missed anything during the week?
What?
We've got you covered.
Yeah! Here we go!
Let's take a look back at the week that was. It's the Beat of Sports Week in Review with Marc Daniels.
All right, time to recap of the week that was the program. And on Monday, talking about the Magic. Now, this is after the first 3 games of the series where I just felt the Magic were the better basketball team. It's a small sample size of 3 games. It's one bad half of the series. Otherwise, the Magic are the better basketball team in this series. Anybody watching it, if you take Magic-colored glasses off, go read some of the more respected national people that cover this game will tell you, oh, that's what they were supposed to look like. Which was what everybody envisioned, right? Healthy bodies, adding Bane, that's the team. And some of those national people have gone back the narrative of that's who we thought they were supposed to be. And again, for the umpteenth time, it doesn't change the things that the team should have been criticized for during the season, but it doesn't matter at the moment. If they lose 4-2 in the series, bring all that stuff back out and yell and scream, and that'll happen if they lose 4-2. But right now, anybody watching this series, even a diehard Piston fan, has to acknowledge after 3 games, the Magic are better. A Piston fan might feel different after game 5, but they're still down 3-2 in the series.
I still thought the Magic actually outplayed Detroit in game 5. Despite losing, I thought the Magic played really well.
Well,
the defense
missed 14 free throws, gave up offensive rebounds. Look,
but the fact that they were still there without Franz Wagner, I mean,
it's not a lack of effort. It was a lack of execution and basic things like making free throws. Yeah,
trust me. Don't get me started on free throws, Mark.
On Tuesday, Ryan Bass of the Tampa Bay Rays broadcast joined us as he went viral for the moment where the Guardians fan thought she had a home run ball until the adult came over to steal the ball away from her, and Ryan did the good deed by bringing the little girl a baseball, and the whole family was appreciative of that, and Ryan joined us to talk about it.
First of all, I just off the top, man, this is all about Evelyn, Theo, Nikki, and their family, and giving them a moment, that I hope little Evelyn will never forget. But yeah, obviously I sit in the camera well, next to the Rays dugout, during games, for my reports and kind of getting ready for some of the hits that I'll do. And, we saw the home run and we heard, Andy Freed, who was filling in on our play-by-play side, and Brian Anderson, our color guy, talking about this guy who basically snagged the baseball away from Evelyn, this little girl. And, my producer, Kevin Patterson, and I were kind of talking, in between innings, and he said, we got to do something here. We got to make this right. And so I went over to the Rays dugout. I asked one of our assistant coaches, Corey Dickerson, for 2 baseballs and trotted out there. I didn't know what was going to come next, but just felt like we needed to put a smile on their faces and make it right. And so, and the reaction obviously is taken off from there. But we're, again, just so grateful that we can create a moment in the memory for Evelyn, Theo, Nikki, and the entire family, and make it right by Rays baseball.
On Wednesday's program, we're talking about the NBA's plans to change the draft lottery. The NBA recognized, for whatever reason more this year, we're not just going to let it die and move on. We want to be proactive to the point that they're doing it now, not waiting till after the NBA finals to do it now. I'm not going to knock that. Is it confusing? Of course it's confusing.
Well, let's be honest. The NBA is not being proactive. They're being reactive. They're reacting to what happened the last couple of years.
Fair. Yes, fair.
So they're not being proactive.
Well, okay, fair, but I'm saying being proactive in now, not waiting for the end of the season and to drag it out. They're saying, look, we've looked at some ideas and we're going to make a change.
Why release it now? Why not wait until the end of the season?
I don't know. I think because of the criticism that seemed to be higher this year than it had been in recent years, because you had, and somebody wrote a piece about this that I thought was really well, the number of lopsided games of tanking teams versus those, it wasn't just the wins, it was the margin of victory. It was just, it was embarrassing. John Denton yesterday joined us, a longtime writer. John covered the Magic for years, now been covered Major League Baseball, most recently with the Cardinals, and they talked about the potential of a lockout looming.
They know that the game is thriving right now. It's doing great. Great World Series last year, but ugliness is coming. Now, what I've heard There was a Hall of Famer that I talked to who said, I would be shocked if they play one game next year, that it's going to be one of those knockdown, drag-out, ugly battles. Here's the issue. There's about 5 owners who want to keep it exactly the way it is. There's about 5 owners who could care less. And then there's 20 owners who want to burn this thing to the ground. They want a salary cap. They want cap on all salaries, player salaries, and they're not going to budge. You can't have the Dodgers spending $425 million and the Marlins spending $68 million. Like, you just can't have that in baseball and expect it to ever survive. There's 20 teams that go to spring training with no chance to win whatsoever. So they need a salary cap, but yes, they also need a floor that makes the Pirates and the Marlins and the Twins, teams like that makes them spend money. That would be better for more players in the league than a salary cap would be bad for the Bryce Harpers and things like that.
Can I follow up on a story we were talking about yesterday?
Yeah.
When John was on, you and I were talking about the lockout, and I said it's more about owners versus owners.
Yeah.
So, you know what DAZN is? Streaming service?
Yep. Of course.
Okay. So they bought ViewLift, which is another streaming company, and they're trying to get MLB teams to give them their streaming rights. And they presented a package to a number of teams.
Wasn't it about 20, right?
Yeah. And based on market size, teams are looking at making anywhere between $8 to $15 million. It's a lot of money, but for a lot of teams, it's significantly less than what they were making in the traditional regional sports network model. Okay. But let's say you're one of those teams that fits into that category. Like, hey, I got no one else out here offering me. And 8 to 15, let's say 10 or 11, it's more, right? So you're like, okay, it's not a bad deal. You know what the Dodgers next year will make in TV money? Not this year, next year.
Is it going to be in 9 figures?
It's $335 million. It's their local TV deal. So you're an owner looking at 10, realizing I have no other offer. And 10 is less than what I was making, which may have been 25 or 30, and they're making $335 million next year. You don't want the system.
How are they making so much money? In LA, where there's so many other things to do.
I'm old, so remind me the next time that I'm home for a history lesson. The Dodgers television deal is one of the most insane deals. This relates back to a divorce that led to the ultimate selling of the team. And you inherited the TV deal in bankruptcy, and therefore it could not be tossed out. And that's why the Dodgers make north of $300 million. And I still think that goes 5 or 6 more years.
Oh, good Lord.
So it's kind of like Power 4 money versus G6 money. If you're in the SEC or the Big Ten and you're looking at making about $90 to $100 million the next couple of years, and if you're in the American, you're hoping to get 7. And you're like, we don't live in that world. And they're like, yeah, you don't. Wow. Except in this one, you're hoping to get 10 and someone's making 335. Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know if he's making 335. All right, there you go. That's the highlights of the week.
Stud of the week.
For me, it's got to go back to the clip we played for Tuesday. Ryan Bass. I mean, for that jerk. And he deserves all.
Wait, Ryan Bass the jerk?
No.
No,
the jerk who took the ball from the little girl, Evelyn.
Okay.
For him to go and make things right with her, being an away team TV guy, made things right. Like, where were all the Cleveland guys? Why did they not do anything?
Mm-hmm.
But for Ryan and the Rays to make things right with her from the jerk who stole the ball, and he deserves all the online backlash. I don't agree with the death threats. Like, that's just ridiculous. But Ryan Bass is my stud of the week.
Okay, I mentioned this guy earlier, and I maybe did it to pepper it out here because his story is great. Eldemaro Vargas is 34 years old, and he's gotten off to an incredible start with a hit in every game that he's played this year in Major League Baseball. But I love the story of the journey. He made his debut in 2017 for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he played in 12 games. Then he was down in the minor league. The most games he's played in a regular season was 95 with the Washington Nationals in 2024. Chris, he's been with several teams over his career: Arizona, Washington, the Chicago Cubs, the Minnesota Twins, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, and back with Arizona again. He's been in the minor league and played for 11 different minor league teams. He was without a job for several months and waited to get signed. And he's just the ideal great utility guy that, hey, we need somebody, call him. And here he is getting a chance to begin the season with the Diamondbacks. And he's not playing every single game, but he's got to hit in every game that he's played. At 34 years old, bouncing around as much as he has, that's the ultimate journeyman.
Good for him.
Isn't that great?
Good for him. Almost like Josh Johnson, but not quite on that level
Not quite
yet.
Yeah. All right.
Stud of the week.
You played this clip in the bridge. It's a minute 50. I'm not going to play all of it. But can someone shut up the Sanders family? Can someone shut up Shiloh Sanders?
And this is to Mary King. If you're going to be a reporter and report facts. Whenever you have your opinion, and your opinion is always something hateful to Shador, then it makes it seem like it's something weird, like it's an agenda that you have going on.
I don't have an agenda. Your brother's not a good quarterback. You're not a good football player. It is what it is. Get over it. My guy, you say one negative thing about Shador Sanders and she's got an agenda against him. Shut up. Shut up. Cannot stand the Sanders family.
I knew that would get Chris. Get him going.
That is ridiculous. Don't say anything bad about
Mary
my
Kay
brother.
Cabot did go on Cleveland radio and did defend her body of work as an NFL reporter and didn't make any reference to Shiloh, although they didn't ask her in name, but she didn't make reference to him and just said that
She is a much better person than I am.
Can I give you one about a story and one about a player that probably I'm unfairly labeling.
Okay.
Have you seen the latest?
Oh, God.
No. On Rossini and Vrabel, right?
Oh, boy.
Have you seen the latest that the story supposedly of her rescuing the elderly man from the car is not true?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where she was at the scene that an accident happened, and the story was that she helped open the door when the car was somewhat flipped to get the guy out. Turns out she was holding the leash of the dog of the guy while another individual was the one that kind of ripped the door open to get the guy out, and she didn't exactly pull the person out of the burning car. It wasn't a burning car, but she had nothing to do with extracting the person from the car. Yeah. PR teams.
She is getting it from every direction.
Okay, is this unfair? Connor McDavid is one of hockey's best players.
I saw this stat.
Well, he's one of the game's best players in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
In the playoffs, he's averaging more than a point a game, but he hasn't won the Stanley Cup.
We can't put it on an individual player in a team sport.
But we do. Life isn't fair. And as someone that appreciates hockey, he is, without a doubt, one of the NHL's 3, 4, 5 best players. I would never argue that of the game right now. But if he never wins, you can't call him a candidate for greatest player ever.
That I would agree with.
Okay. That's all I'm going. He's great.
Yeah.
He's great. And if you've never watched a hockey game and I sit you down and go, okay, watch this, and you had no idea the names, and I said, who do you think's the best player? You'll likely pick him. But if he never wins the Stanley Cup, you can't be in the group of greatest player ever. Right?
I'd agree. Because you have guys who have won 1, 2, 3, multiple Stanley Cup finals.
The Edmonton Oilers were once again eliminated last night, 4-2. What we'll be talking about Monday. I'm going to throw in a little Kentucky Oaks and Derby pick for you and some other news. We'll do that next.
The weekend is coming, and we've already seen the script. From the locker room drama to the mind-boggling calls, we're giving you the weekend spoilers on a Friday. Here's what will we be talking about Monday.
Here you go. We'll be talking about who the Magic have in the next round. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's a blowout
Is it going 6 or 7?
Well, that's true. Game 7 Sunday. I think the Magic win tonight.
Okay. I feel like they have to. They have to win tonight.
I think the Magic win tonight, and I think we'll be talking about the second round on Monday.
It almost feels like you're upsetting the basketball gods, though.
Not trying to.
I know, but it just
not trying to.
You never want to upset
I also
the gods.
have this feeling. Everyone's writing them off, and I get it, but I think the Celtics are going to still be alive, and it'll be the Knicks and Celtics is what we're going to be talking about.
Be a classic series, but I don't know. The way Philly's been playing, the fans keep chanting, "We want Boston."
So that's a couple of basketball things that I think we'll be talking about. You ready for this?
Everyone's ready for the Derby picks.
I think the Lightning are done. I think the Canadians will finish them off. It's been an unbelievable series, and I think that they will finish them off. Who's that? The potential scam call.
Oh, shit. Answer it live.
You know I love answering those things. You want me to do it? Hold on.
Hey, you got my money?
Hold on, here we go. Hey, where's my money?
Huh? What? Huh? Huh? What?
Hang on. All right, here you go. For the Kentucky Oaks, which I think both the Oaks and Derby are okay fields. They're not great. I'm going to pick Meaning in the Kentucky Oaks.
Can I ask you something real quick before you get into it? So I'm as novice as they come when it comes to horse racing.
Okay.
When you say it's not a great field, what does that mean?
Well, I think what's happened, the horse racing industry is doing better with the growth of gambling across the country. But we've made the Kentucky Oaks, in particular the Kentucky Derby, it's not a great race. 20 horses do not belong in any race. It becomes a traffic jam. And the same things happen to the Oaks. We are putting horses, even though the way to get horses into these races is now a point system, there's still other ways to kind of beat that system. And half the fields in both these races have no chance of winning and don't belong out there. And the only thing they do is they ruin the purity of the actual race. Like for the Kentucky Derby, of the 20-horse field, 10 of them have no business racing. And if the 10 that should race, it's a great race. It's a great race. But what makes the Derby so unpredictable is you don't know because of these horses that don't belong. And it's possible that a horse has this incredible day where they're probably 19th out of 20 in quality, but the horse just decides, whee! And all of a sudden they're blocking good horses. And I hate that part of the Derby. So I love it as a horse racing fan, but it typically is not the best type of races. When you get to horses that are 4, 5, and 6-year-olds, and they matured more, their big races are much better races because the best horses are racing in those. Where the Derby, it's kind of line them up, and it's a cattle call to go, okay? So anyway, in the Oaks, I'll take Meaning, which is the 5-horse, and then put the 1, 2, and 9 in whatever order below, which is Explorer. Zany is Mike Rapoli's horse, the filly, and then Always a Runner. I'm going to take a little bit of a flyer on that. In the Derby, look, I think Commandment's the best horse. But because of this crazy field, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win. Renegade probably is the second best horse. But on the rail, in a field of 20, the traffic that horse is going to deal with means you're going to have to overcome so much of that. I'm going to take a flyer on Emerging Market because I think the price is going to be pretty good. So I think Commandment is the best horse to win. I'd probably also put some money on Emerging Market because I think that horse is 11-1 right now. So 6 and 15, and then I'm going to mix in Chief Wallaby, who's the 12. So Happy, which is over bet right now at 6-1. Potente is 23-1, which is the 14 horse. So 6 and 15 in the Derby, and I'll mix in 12 and 8 along the way. So good luck in your Derby bets. And the Oaks is later today. Let's talk to Kurt from Maxine's on Shine, where you always have a winning bet when you visit our friends at Maxine's on Shine. And kids, don't try that. I'm a professional in the transition to Kurt. How are you, sir?
I am great. And yeah, he's right, folks. You do not get even money when you try to pull
Whoa!
off what you did right there. Yeah, do not do that. Yeah.
How about
Yeah,
you?
Louis will come looking for you on that. Yes. Happy Friday to you, brother.
Happy Friday to you. Tell me what's going on. I know that you're basically packed for Mother's Day next week. That's why I tell people you can have brunch on Saturday with mom. You can even bring mom to dinner and so forth. But tell everybody, I know you had a great dinner show the other night. What else is happening?
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for bringing that up, Mark. Yeah, we are pretty packed for Mother's Day. I'm going to be working through those numbers again after the weekend. Don't give up, though. If you do want to come join us on that Sunday, if you're stuck on it, just go online to our website, maxinesunshine.com, and you can go on the Book a Table tab and get on the wait list for that. But, Mark, excellent point. If you want to avoid the madness, and say on that Sunday, you just want to hang out with mom. Maybe you want to take her to a place and let her get a massage, or y'all want to go to the beach, or you just want to sit at the house and relax, that kind of thing. And then you want to take her out and celebrate her. You're spot on, brother. Friday night works perfect. Saturday morning for brunch is fantastic. Saturday night, remember on Saturday and Sunday, we got live music and it's really conducive to great conversation and good times. That, you think about all the good times that you had with mom and the way she always treated you so special and took you to special places, or maybe she checked you out of school early to go see your favorite movie, or going to the beach, different things like that, or when the latest issue of a show came out and she kept you home to watch it, whatever it is. When you're coming out and you get the live vibe of the music and the type of respect that we have for the love that you give to your mom, we're going to make sure you have a great time. So, folks, don't shortchange going out on Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night. We're going to have great food features for you all weekend long. We're going to make your mom feel like the royal queen that she absolutely is, and your entire family, too. So, Mark, thanks for pointing that out, brother. As we're going into this weekend, hey, everybody, right now today, we've got our new happy hour and a half going on. It's all day on Friday from 10 a.m. until 6:30. We're saying, Kurt, well, I can't really necessarily take advantage on happy hour during the day on Friday. But if you're starting your weekend early, you can. You come on down and you say, hey, you know what? I got the work taken care of. Go ahead and reward yourself. Come on down and enjoy our fantastic 5 for 5 right here. And what does that mean by that? We got $5 options, all of our drafts. And oh, by the way, Bud Light is not on them. Sorry, Bud Light, you ain't making the gate of the horses that we got pumping out of our taps. It's coming there. It's all Florida crafted beer. Save Stella. So really good beer in there. $5 pints on that, ice cold for you going on. Our wine, sangria, our award-winning sangria, the mimosas, and of course Amsterdam vodka in there, along with the beautiful Buy a Wine Lovers board. If you just want to sit back, relax, and have some wine and cheese, and know that life is good in the neighborhood, and sip on a bottle of wine, buy the bottle of wine, get the Wine Lovers board free. It's a wonderful deal for you. We offer that on Wednesday and Thursday nights too. But for this weekend, my friend, I am delighted. I am delighted about the features. Well, I always am, but I got to tell you right now, man, super stoked. The lobster bisque is back. Man, you gonna pull out the lobster for me in the middle as we're getting in that kind of warmer time? Absolutely, because we're gonna rock that lobster bisque right now. Because probably not gonna have it during the summer. So this is gonna be one of the last runs that we're gonna have on that. But man, I'm telling you, made from scratch, right in house. Got a little bit of brandy in there that's going on. A little dollop of creme fraiche added into that good knuckle and claw meat, just a little bit on top, because you don't get it all big chunks inside of there. It's just a little dollop on top, really rich and creamy, absolutely beautiful. Can't think of a better way to start off any of our 3 entrees that we're running this week. Tonight, we've got our chop of the week is that veal chop, 12 to 14 ounces, bone on. Again, remember, y'all, a little bit of a slightly sweeter taste in that. It is a little bit of a leaner meat, going to be really beautiful, moist, glorious. 12 to 14 ounces. Going to put a mushroom bordelaise over top of that. So it's got that earthy mushroom and red wine flavors that are going to just perfectly complement that veal chop. I've got a Wagyu for you. What is Wagyu? I mean, a lot of y'all out there know what Wagyu is. Mark, I know you know what it is. Wagyu being that Japanese bread, that Japanese cow, yeah? And obviously, they do really, really well over there, but Wagyu can also be from Australia, America, that sort of thing. Right now, we're featuring Australian Wagyu beef, and it just has to do with the diet that they have and the fine marbling that goes into the steak. With us, we are doing what's known as a baseball cut. Oh, we're hitting a home run with all the sports fans today with this. Okay, anyway, so baseball cut. So you're taking the center cut out of the top sirloin. It really, really mirrors a filet mignon. It is super moist, absolutely beautiful. nice and buttery in there. We're going to do about an 8-ounce cut of that. You're going to have a choice of 1 of 3 sauces, either a compound butter with a little bit of a garlic base in there, really nice. We're going to do an au poivre or peppercorn sauce, or the choice of the bordelaise with that. So if you're thinking about a little bit of steak, you're thinking about a chop, we got you covered. But the thing that's turning me on the most, and it's been a while since we've had it back, Florida black grouper. Florida black grouper. Got to save the best for last. Hey, y'all, you know grouper. You just don't get a chance to get it that often. We have got a gorgeous, gorgeous filet. Just came in this morning. Going to be a 6-ounce filet of that. We're going to do it with a lemon caper butter sauce. You are going to absolutely thank yourself. You're going to thank me. You're going to thank Mark. You're going to thank Chris, all of us, for letting you know you're going to want to get that. The best way to get in here and come see us, go online to Maxine'sOnShine.com. Right there on the homepage, you can click on the Open Table tab. Look for the times and tables that are available for you. You can take a look at any of the menus, the promotions that we got going on, and we are absolutely looking forward to seeing each and every one of you come out and come see us this weekend. With that, I know I got to go. Oh, don't forget, tomorrow, y'all, complimentary sparkling wine when the horses hit the gate. And, yeah, I'll do $10 barman mint juleps all throughout the race for you. Prettiest hat I'm going to pick up a beautiful bottle of wine for. All right, there you go.
Miss any of that. Go to Maxine'sOnShine.com. We're back to put a wrap of the week next.
Time for the latest news, gossip, trends, and off-the-wall stories. Trends.
That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Peyton Manning's 14-year-old son, Marshall, thought to be a
Stop
top
it.
quarterback
Stop it.
prospect in the class
Can we
of
stop that?
2030.
Can we stop that?
Hoping to get an
Stop it.
NIL deal done this weekend.
Can we stop
I
with
added
that?
that last part. I don't.
Ridiculous.
Anything
it.
special real quick for the weekend, Chris?
Hanging out with wifey, hanging out with daughter.
Okay. We end the week telling you to do something kind for someone who doesn't expect it. They'll appreciate it. You'll feel good about yourself. And it's easy to be kind. Have a great weekend. Back on Monday to talk all about what happens between now and then. Chris Vasquez produced. I'm Marc Daniels, the Beat of Sports.